especially the student section. That was outstanding. If we can do that every game, they are an X factor, a difference maker. You know, when we got down 14-0 with the fans into the game the way they were, obviously it keeps our team energized, and we continue to play hard. Came back because of that. So, you know, fans were great. Student section was awesome. Really want to thank our players as well. You get down 14-0 in the first game, you obviously start the game off on a negative note. The fact that they stayed together, they believed, they kept fighting, and we went on a 48-7 run there after the first 5 minutes. That was pretty impressive by them. And the staff as well, you know, sticking together and keeping the players together. Great job by all those guys. Obviously, we had a statue open up today, a victory statue from the Rudy family. Great way to celebrate that unveiling with a victory on the opening night. So it was good. A lot of things we've got to clean up, especially things that happened in the beginning of the game. You know, defensively, the tempo got us. You know, some of the new plays when you play a first game with a new staff, there were some things that they did a really nice job of. They got us and kept us off guard a little bit early in the game, and then we just didn't play very well right out of the gate. We had some missed tackles, a couple mental errors, and then penalties really killed us in the first half, especially a couple of critical ones on third down. But thankfully, we overcame it. We controlled the situation, didn't let the situation control us, and rebounded. Offensively, I think you got a chance to see some of the potential that we have on offense. Obviously, didn't start out great with the interception right out of the gate, but McClain Carter ended up playing a pretty good game, a pretty good stretch there during the game. Got to clean up the turnovers, had 3 of them, -1 on the evening, and that's not what we want. That's not going to get it done as we move forward. But to be able to finish the night the way he did with 340 yards of passing, a couple touchdowns, that's pretty good. It's really good. Isaiah Pacheco, 156 yards. Raheem Blackshear, 126 yards receiving, 39 yards rushing, all-purpose yards. Was really impressive. Those are 2 of our top players. I think you saw those guys on display. Big-time game by Bo Melton tonight, 127 yards and a touchdown. Just really, really happy with his development, and it's a great start to the season with what he did tonight. But you know, really just happy for our players. You know, when you go 1-11, and it's been a long time since we've been able to celebrate a game. We're going to celebrate this one, but we'll get back to work on Sunday. The players are off tomorrow, and we'll get back after it on Sunday. We've got a lot of things to clean up. We've got a very, very tough opponent, Big Ten opener, on the road next week, and we've got to get back to work. And what I really like, though, is the attitude of the players. They're happy that we won, but not satisfied with the way that we played in some areas. Some of them are really impressive, but others have got to get cleaned up. So with that, I'll go ahead and open up for questions.
Chris, what went into your decision to start McClain?
I think if you watched the game, you probably saw. He has the ability to extend plays. He's got poise in the pocket, and a lot of that just because he's a 5th-year guy. He's an older guy. You're talking about a guy that's, you know, 22, 23 years old, been in college for going on his 5th year. Just the experience, the poise. It was a very, very difficult decision, but again, we didn't rush the decision. And as it continued to unfold, as we went through camp, McClain edged Art out, and you know, I think again you saw the potential on display tonight and some of the things that we saw in camp, especially on the back half of camp.
What does it mean for Art's future? He didn't come in the 4th quarter. Johnny came in. What does it mean for Art?
Art's in a great spot. It's going to be you know, game by game on you know, how the offense is going. Obviously, the question would be, in the best case scenario, would we be able to redshirt Art? Yeah, best case scenario, we would love to have those conversations. That's not the plan right now. Art is going to prepare as he's a starter, and we'll be ready to go at any moment if needed. Art's development from last year at this time to this year has been tremendous. The game has really slowed down for him. He is a much better quarterback, and I would have no worries about him going out and leading our offense. You know, right now, McClain is just a little bit better, and that's why we made the decision.
Chris, late in the first half, 33 seconds left, to send your offense back out there with a 10-point lead, try to score. What that speaks to the confidence you must have had in you at that point.
Well, we needed to get that work as much as anything. You know, anytime you can get some 2 minutes into the half or into the game work early in the season, you know, you want to get it. But yeah, we did have confidence in our ability to hopefully go down and get some more points.
mentioned that 14-0 deficit, and maybe the past couple of years that would have been a bit of a death sentence for your team. Why was it different this time around?
The players, simple as that. They believe, they want to fight and play for each other, and that's what it's all about. It's the mindset of the players, and they never questioned and never doubted. We knew, they knew we got off to a bad start. They knew it was us as much as anything. Again, give credit to UMass, Coach Bell, offensively for a couple things that they did. But a lot of it was our own mistakes, and as soon as we cut those out, obviously the game changed.
You mentioned Bo Melton. What kind of went into that breakout performance? When you see him?
Hard work. That's it. Hard work. The kid is matured, he's developed, and he's worked extremely hard. And there's no secret sauce, there's no secret pill, there's no secret formula to it. He knew where he was after last season. He wasn't happy with it. He knew what he needed to do to help his team, and that was to improve and develop. And the only way he was going to do it is work extremely hard, and that's exactly what that kid's done since the last game last year. He started right away, that week after we played Michigan State, get back in the weight room, get back out running routes, working on his skills, and really, really pleased and happy with the way he started the season. Now he's got to continue this. It can't be a one-game deal. He's got to continue this, and we've got to get big plays out of him, but it's because of his hard work.
Defense, you applied 4 personal fouls in the 5th and 12th inning. Is that a concern?
They were aggressive penalties that you don't want, but they were aggressive penalties that we can't have as well. We just have to make better decisions. When you're out on a game, in a game, there's a lot of talking back and forth. There's a lot of pushing and shoving. What happens is always the last guy that does it is the guy that gets caught, and we've got to make better decisions. We got to play with more discipline and more poise defensively. We can't go out there and get, whatever, 3 or 4 personal fouls in a game, especially in the critical situations that they happen. I think one was on 3rd down, one was at the end of the first half. 2 of them were on 3rd down. Tyreek had one, Avery Young had one, and then Damon had one at the end of the game, or end of the first half, where they were kicking off at the 50-yard line to start the second half. But we'll get it cleaned up. They understand the mistakes that they made, and I have trust and faith in all of those guys that they'll get it cleaned up, get it fixed, and won't be a problem going forward.
Coach, what did you think of Trey Avery's play today? He had a pick and a couple of nice kick returns.
Yeah, he was really a few inches away on a couple of kick returns and possibly breaking them out for big ones. He has that potential. We wanted that out of him last year. Didn't get it, obviously, with the injury, but I think as he plays and gets more reps at corner and as a kick returner, you're going to see some really big play potential, big plays made from him. Love the kid. He's worked extremely hard after he got injured last year to get back out there to be where he's at today. I think our corners are pretty good with Damon and Avery Young and Trey. I think we've got 3 guys that are pretty good players, and we're going to need them.
2 more questions.
You shuffled offensive linemen around a lot in the second half, different positions. That's something you plan on doing this year, or just maybe taking advantage of the time you have?
It's hot out there, and game when we were up there, I don't know, what was it, 48-21 there at one point in the second half. And, we need to get some guys some reps. They need to play, and we need to find out. I think we're pretty set on our starting 5. We need to find out who the next guys are going to be as we go through the season. And the only way to do that is get them in there and get some reps. So we have trust, again, and faith that they can go out and do the job. But until they do it, there's some unknowns there. So that's all it is they need to work, and we need to see who can do it on game day.
Final question?
The big runs for the shakeout. You talked a little bit before, but just what was it? Why was he so successful?
A combination of things, blocking by the O-line and tight ends and wideouts, and just him being a hard, tough runner. He runs behind his pads, and he's got that gear to take it to the end zone and take it the distance when he sees a hole. But it's a combination of everybody working together. And you talk about the pass game. Why was it better? Because all 11 guys worked together in those situations better tonight than what we would have last year.
Thanks, Coach.
You had one more.
So you had a freshman making his first start at left tackle, and the offensive line opened it up for 200 rushing yards and only gave up 1 sack. Would you say that was one of the better units tonight?
Yeah, without watching the film, it felt like they played pretty well. You can't rush the ball like this and throw the ball like that without the offensive line playing fairly decent. So, we'll watch the film, but it just felt good, from the sideline. I think Raekwon O'Neal played a really good game at left tackle as a first-time starter, and I'm excited to watch the film and see what he did. But nobody was perfect, I can tell you that. We would have been scoring a lot more points. But I thought it was a very good start to the season.